Hey folks, it's Nick Granville. So I've got this new guitar to show you today. This is the Ibanez AR520. Yes, that's right. Many of you will know I've had this AR420 for ages, but I actually didn't even know this guitar existed. I was in the music shop and I was hanging out with Steve, the manager of Musicworks in Wellington, and I saw this on the wall and I went, "What's that?" And he said, "Oh, we've had that for a little while." I was like, "Oh, it's like my 420, but hollow." And I went, "Wow, I've got to check that out." So I took it, I asked him if I could borrow it, and I used it for a couple of gigs. So a couple of things. First thing I liked about it, I saw this guitar and I went, it's kind of like if this guitar and this guitar had a baby, right? One thing I find with 335s, and it's just me, I find my arm kind of gets sore. It's like they're really big guitars, your arm's up like that. And so this guitar for me is like a 335. It's got that sort of thing, but it's much smaller, it's much more comfortable. It kind of reminds me of sort of the Robin Ford thing that he used to play a lot of the time, of course with a single hollow, but I'll get to that in a minute. You'll notice with this guitar, I've taken off two of the controls, just one volume, one tone. I prefer that, and it's got the coil taps. So this guitar comes like that. I didn't have to do anything. It was like it was made how I wanted it. And this volume is in a much better position. You can actually reach it and turn it while you're playing. It's not quite where a Strat is, which would be there, it's slightly down, but it's good. You can reach it, which is really nice. So it's kind of like a marriage of these two guitars, which is pretty cool, I think, you know. It's got all the beautiful binding that this has, lots of things. Now, the one change I have done with this guitar, everything is stock, as it is. The one thing I've changed is the strap button is here, and I'll get to that later on why I did that. So it has two Super 58s, I believe, three-way toggle switch, and coil taps on each. So you have a full humbucker in the neck, tapped humbucker, followed by I think it's parallel. I should mention one of the reasons I like hollow body guitars so much, which is one of the reasons I like this guitar over this guitar, because this guitar does a lot of things well, is one, they're lighter, but a really important thing for me is often when I play guitar, I play without an amp. I'm playing just acoustically from the guitar. You know, in a hotel room, or when I'm practicing at home, or if I'm at the gig and my amp's on stage and everyone's getting ready and I need to sit down maybe with the singer and just work on a few things, and I'll play acoustically. And this guitar being hollow, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to have a hollow body guitar. I just think they look cool with the F hole there. And it's one reason too I don't particularly like the second F hole down here. As soon as you have the second F hole here, these controls have to move over here. You know, because the F hole would be in the way. So with one F hole, it means that I've actually got the controls where I can reach them instead of tucked out of here, you know. It's got the Ibanez tuners, you know, we would call them PowerShell in New Zealand, but I think you call them abalone in the US or where else, all around here as well. Just beautiful. It is hollow, hollow here, and it seems to be, looking from the top down, I can't really show you this, but it seems to be hollow here. I suspect it's hollow here and what have you. You got to pick it, you got a cavity so you can get into there, because sometimes, you know, if you can't get to the electronics, it's kind of a mission. So I'll just go through a couple of the pickup settings for you. This is all on a clean sound. This is bridge, pickup, humbucker. Neck humbucker, bridge humbucker. And then neck humbucker. And then bridge single coil. And then bridge series or parallel, whichever one it is. Which is a cool sound. And then in the middle, which is where you have the most range of sounds, let's go bridge humbucker, neck single coil. And then we'll go neck series. And then we'll go neck humbucker, bridge single. And then bridge parallel. I hope these sounds are all coming across to you. They're quite different. And then of course neck humbucker, neck single coil, parallel. So one of my favorite sounds is when you blend the split pickup here with the bridge humbucker. This sound. of course, bridge pickup, full humbucker. So some really usable sounds there. I had a gig recently where I had to do the James Bond theme, so I took this guitar and I actually split the bridge pickup. With an orchestra, and you can see it's pretty convincing. So being able to do that all just on the same guitar is massive for me. So one comment a few people have made about this guitar is about how it can be a little bit neck heavy. You can see right there, it's balanced, right? It's got to be in the right place, like with any guitar. But the solution I found to that is just to put the strap button here instead of there. And now it changes the whole positioning of the guitar. So the solution is to move the strap button here, as I mentioned, which is like it would be on this guitar. You can see here, on a 335 type guitar, the strap button is always here. I much prefer that. So much so that I actually moved the strap button on this guitar from there to there positioning. So for this guitar, I moved it here. To me, it's so nice having this guitar being nice and light. I did a 2.5 hour gig the other day with this guitar, and it felt like nothing at the end of it. Normally I get a sore neck or whatever as I'm getting older. I'm getting old, folks. What changes would I make to this guitar? For me, one of the things that I'm going to change, and it's not that big a deal, I'm probably not going to do it straight away, but it has a plastic nut. These are made to a price point, so I understand, you know, that they'd use a plastic nut. I talked to my guitar tech about it. He said that the nut really only affects the tone of open strings, and even then, not that much. As long as the string can slide through, it's okay. But I probably will have that replaced to be a bone nut just for me. But you don't need to, and I probably won't for a while because the plastic one is fine. I did actually have a bone nut put in this guitar, I think. Yeah. That's about it. I like the Super 58s. I think they're really great. There's not much more to do with it. It's just a great workhorse guitar. It's so comfortable to play. It's got that 24 3/4 scale length, like a LP or a 335 type guitar, like this guitar and this guitar are both that. Yeah, so that's the Ibanez AR520. I haven't really seen many demos on this guitar. I'm not exactly sure why. It's a beast of a guitar. I really dig it. And you'll be seeing me playing around. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to 11s. It came with 10s on it. Forgot to mention that, which means the nut slots will need to be recut anyway, so I'll probably just get a bone nut put on at the same time. But I play 11s. 11 to 49 Elixirs is what I'm using at the moment. But that's subject to change too. So basically I've got a whole new rig at the moment. New guitar, the fractal, that's kind of my rig. I just wanted consistency, and I want to take one guitar and one kind of setup, and just wherever I go, can take the two of them with me and be ready to go. Plug into the PA and boom. And this does it. I can do all the things I need to do on one guitar, and it's light and it's comfortable. But anyway, thanks for watching. My name's Nick Granville, and please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out my channel a lot. And you'll be seeing more of this guitar in the coming weeks. So I hope everybody's well, and keep grooving. Thanks for watching. Cheers.